Promotion Scope. Welcome to the replay. Hello, my social butterflies. Hello. How are you today? Hope life is treating you well. It's a little chilly here. I'm threatening to get some snow. I hope it's not true. I do not want more snow. I want it to go away and stay where it was at. How are you? Did you sell any books today? I sold one book. That's a good thing. I think I put my book up, so I won't have my book today. Hello, welcome. Well, I'll start off and say I am LaShonda Hoffman, your promotion coach. Hi, Tracy. I am here to help you stay consistent with your promotion, and I'm the author of the best-selling book, Building Online Relationships One Reader at a Time. My scopes are from tips from the book, and I don't have a copy of my book with me. I'm running crazy today. I took the last copy with me and sold it, so that was a good thing. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about being a social butterfly, and all you need is 15 minutes. 15 minutes, people. That's all you need is 15 minutes. All right. So thank you so much for stopping in my scope today and spending some time with me. I'm just going to jump right on into my little conversation and get us started. So this year I'm teaching my clients about how to stay consistent with the promotion. And by doing this, I'm teaching them to use 15 minutes to promote. Most of the time, I get a lot of excuses from writers saying they don't have time to promote. And so I kept trying to figure out what could I say to counter that I don't have time to promote. And I thought about what I do. In the morning, I have to take my kids to school. And so I have like 15 minutes before the first bus comes. So that 15 minutes, I was doing promotion. I was on Facebook. I was posting questions. I was replying to things and different things like that. And so I said, you know what? That's really all you need is 15 minutes to get you started, to at least do something for the day. And so that's what I'm training my clients how to do, and that's what I'm sharing with you today, is how to use those 15 minutes, how to get the best out of those 15 minutes. So it doesn't seem like a lot of time, but you can do a lot in 15 minutes if you stay consistent on the 15 minutes. One of the things that I've noticed when it comes to doing the 15 minutes is not to get sucked up into your feeds. Don't go into your feeds. If you have your notification on your social media platforms, then those is what you look at first. Look at your notifications and see if anybody has replied to anything to you or liked something that you posted previously. You know, I get a bunch of notifications. You'll have at the top of your, especially like at Facebook, you'll have at the top of it 25 notifications. And so you go to that first when you go on social media, when you go on Facebook. Go to your notifications first. Don't go to your feed. Don't go to your main page. Go to your notifications and read down the notifications, because most of the time those are the people who are responding to you, whatever you put it out there. Or maybe you have notifications for groups. If you have notifications for groups, then you're just going to have to skip over them and go back to them at a later time when you have time to do that. I suggest 15 minutes because that's a good way to get you started and being consistent. You know, people use the excuse of they don't have the time, and so with 15 minutes, it's not that much. It seems simple, you know, when you say 15 minutes versus going to, hello, how you doing? Doing an hour or doing 2 hours. So 15 minutes is what I suggest. If you commit to 15 minutes, then eventually you can commit to an hour, and then you can commit to 2 hours. You know, I don't suggest going past 2 hours, because after a while you're just messing around, you're playing, you're not really being serious. So if you start with 15 minutes and get it on your schedule, before you know it, you're promoting every day, and that's your goal, is to promote every day. So I suggest you start with 15 minutes every day. However, there are a few things you can do with the 15 minutes. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to use those 15 minutes. Now, for me, I work at a job where I get two 15-minute breaks. one in the morning and one in the afternoon. And I have used those breaks to my advantage. When I was writing, when I wrote, I took my 15-minute break and I wrote. And so now I use those, sometimes I use those 15-minute breaks to promote on my smartphone. I use my phone, it does everything. And so you can do the same thing. If you got break times at your job, that use those, especially if you got a lot of stuff to do at home, so you won't have time to do any promotion at home. Use that break times to, use at least one of them to work on your promotion. If you get an hour for lunch, take 15 minutes out of that hour and work on your promotion. You can also break your things up, your 15 minutes up 3 times a day instead of just doing it once or twice. And so you can do them in the morning, this is what I do. I use my 15 minutes in the morning, and then I'll take 15 minutes at lunchtime, and then I'll take 15 minutes in the evening, because usually that's when everybody's getting off in the evening, so they have time to look at their phones. So those are a few tips to get you started. You can do a lot in 15 minutes, so don't think that you can't. You'd be surprised how much promotion you can squeeze into that 15 minutes. So here are a few things that I want you to squeeze into that 15 minutes. I want on your social media platforms, you can answer questions, you can make comments, and you can share information. And you do this, like I said, use the notification system. When you use the notification, it tells you if somebody responded to your promotion, and you can go back and look at it. And if they had a question for you, or if they had a comment, you can go in there and respond to that, and that's all you're responding to. You can share information. Like today, I shared an article about being a best-selling author. So that was something that I shared. That wasn't in my scheduling of promotions that I normally do. That was something that I read today, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go on social media and share this. And so that's something that I shared. I took my little 15 minutes and shared some information. You can also pop into groups. Groups are, like I said, there's another way to promote your books. So when you pop into those groups, you're being strategic. You're doing your 15 minutes. You're going in there. You're not just running your mouth. You go in there, how you doing? We're talking about how to be a social butterfly, 15 minutes at a time. So when you pop into this group, you're going in there, you're going to answer some questions. If somebody asks you some questions, you're going to go in there and make comments. If they ask the question of the day, then you're going to be making comments on those questions. And again, you're going to be sharing information. Maybe you gather some stuff that's really good for this particular group. Maybe like you're in my promotion group and you got some promotion articles that you want to share. This is the time to do that. You post it in there. Information that you can share consists of articles, graphics that maybe you've created or you found, quotes that are interesting to you, links to your blog or your blog posts, or videos. I love to share videos. I'm good at finding videos that make you cry. That's my thing. The way I usually try to end the evening, put a video up there that makes you cry or makes you laugh. I love videos like that. You have to, spice it up a little bit. Another way to use your 15 minutes is to schedule your promotion content. If you don't have time to sit down and do an hour or 2 hours, use that 15 minutes to schedule things. So maybe your schedule, I'll use me as an example. Before I learned how to use book scheduling, which is where you use a spreadsheet and schedule. You create all your content, put it on a spreadsheet, and then load it up to Hootsuite. Before I learned how to do that, I was scheduling every day. So I would go in, in the evening before I went to bed, I would schedule my post for the next day. So I would usually do about 15 to 30 minutes and do that. So you can do the same thing. You can schedule your post for the next day, or maybe the morning or the afternoon. If you don't have time to sit down and do a full-fledged day of scheduling for the week, you can take your 15 minutes and schedule some time. Or you can use your 15 minutes and create your promotional graphics. Maybe you Canva queen, and you can go in Canva and make maybe 1 or 2 graphics for the day. Try to create a graphic each day. Maybe that's a challenge that you put out for yourself. So each day you take 15 minutes and you create a graphic. Don't take too much time because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. Just create 1 or 2 graphics and move on to the next project. Another way is to create an article. articles or your blog post. Maybe you need to write your blog post for the week, so take 15 minutes and write it out. If you take 15 minutes, you won't be long-winded because you know you got a set amount of time. You're going to get your words in that you need, and then there you go. You have your blog post. And they don't have to be long blog posts. It can be short, maybe 500 words at the most. One of my favorite tools that I use to conserve time and to help me with my writing is the Dragon app. It's an app that you can download on your smartphone. I don't know if it's on Android, but I know it's on the iPhone. I use it as the tool that I did last year. I pulled it down and I started using it to capture ideas. And then I said, you know what? Because all the time I'm driving, my ideas always come to me when I'm driving. I'm at the stoplight, bam, something hits me. I can't find paper to write down. That's not enough time. So I found this app, and I was like, you know, I can speak into it and tell exactly what I want to do. So now I use it for writing my blog posts when I'm in, because of course my ideas for my blog posts come where in the stupid car while I'm driving and I can't write. And so when I stop at the stoplight, I hit record and start talking. And so it captures everything that I said, and it is written up, and then I can send it to my email address. And then when I get to work or when I get back home, I can open it up and you know, straighten it out and create me a blog post from it. And most of the time, because I drive to work, I'm telling you, I drive to work is about 15 minutes. So that's 15 minutes. I probably can do two blog posts. It's my co-host, Sean Hoffman.
Hey.
Okay, goodbye, Sean Hoffman.
Goodbye.
So you can take another 15 minutes and go in and use your 15 minutes and take that Dragon app, use that, and then you go back later, 15 minutes later, and clean up your blog post. Then you have a new blog post that you can update, put on your schedule, on your Hootsuite schedule, or post it on your blog for that day. Next, then you can take 15 minutes to work on your mailing list. Yes, you know how important your mailing list is. I'm always griping about the mailing list, but it's very important. So if you don't have a mailing list, then you can take your first 15 minutes when you get off of this thing and create a mailing list. Go, go, go. And so you get ready for your mailing list, and you got everything set up, or you can use that 15 minutes to update your mailing list. You need to go in there, clean up, make sure that everything is current in there, make sure that people aren't, your stuff aren't bouncing and everything. And then you can create autoresponders if you want to get jazzy in your mailing list and create some autoresponders like a welcome letter, or maybe you create a freebie that you want to send out to your people. And so that's something that you could take 15 minutes to create. You're not, one of the things that I like about the 15 minutes is that you're working fast and you're not wasting a lot of time. You know, sometimes you can get caught up and spent the whole day doing one project. But with the 15-minute limit, you can't. You got to stop it and move on to the next project. And you can come back later for the next 15 minutes. You can use in 15 minutes to create a newsletter. You are, again, not being long-winded. Sometimes people overwhelm themselves when they do a newsletter because they're trying to make this long, long, long newsletter. It doesn't have to be long. You have 2 sections in there and bam, you're done. You know, talk about you, talk about what's going on with your books, talk about somebody else's book, and bam, you're done. You don't have to do something extravagant where it's 5 or 6 pages when they print it out. It doesn't have to be that much. You can be simple and sweet, and they will love you for it. Okay? And so the next 15 minutes is something that a lot of people don't take time to do, or they overwhelm themselves and get caught up into Google and forget about what everything else they're supposed to do, is research. Research is something that you can get caught up in for hours and hours. So I say limit yourself to 15 minutes. Get in there and do research. Maybe you want to find out who's doing interviews, who does blog interviews. Go find you 3 or 4 blog interviews. Maybe you want to be featured in a magazine. Go find you 3 magazines. Maybe you want to find some book clubs. Same way, look up for some book clubs. And use that timer. The timer is great. Put that timer for 15 minutes. Once your 15 minutes is up, move on to another thing. So, see, you can do a lot with 15 minutes. Doesn't seem like it, but you can. So those are my 15-minute tips for you today. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop them in the comments for me. Are you using time to schedule your promotion? Are you just winging it? How are you doing your promotion? That's something you need to think about. If you are winging it, you definitely need to be able to create your plan and get your promotion out there. You know, if you are promoting, I want you to pat yourself on the back, because I'm glad to know that you're trying to stay consistent with your promotion. You're reaching new readers. You're hopefully selling some books. And that's my goal for you this year, is to help you get yourself out there in front of people so you can get those readers and get some sales, and start over and do the thing all over again, And so I want you to remember that it's important to take time to promote. That is an important part of your promotion. It's an important part of your plan for your promotion. So don't talk yourself out of doing that. Don't talk yourself out of promoting. Okay. If you're interested, I can't find my little notes. What I was using. Hold on. There we go. Alrighty. So I am hosting a workshop in March 7th through the 18th, called Rocking Your Online Promotion Workshop. It's all about helping you get yourself to being consistent with your promotion. And so in this workshop, you're going to learn how to create a 1-month promotion plan that keeps you in front of the readers daily, how to create a 1-month social media campaign to meet new readers, how you doing, and how to be a social butterfly and not a lurker in 15 minutes a day, and then how to create content you can schedule for daily promotion. This training will be in a Facebook group. And so it's not a set time. You just come in, and I'll be posting your assignments each day for what you need to do to get yourself ready to rock your promotion. This class is $97, and the deadline is March the 1st if you want to join in on it. And you can go to LaShondaHoffman.com/rock, and you can go in and click on the link there to join the workshop. Yes, that does mean you are a social butterfly. That's great. That's great. Now you have all those followers. Are you a writer? Are you a business owner? What are you doing with these followers? Music producer. Okay, that's good. That's good. So you're introducing them to your music, and you're finding clients through your followers. It's great to have a whole bunch of followers, but if you're not getting anything back from it, then it's just like talking to the wall. I found that out the hard way. It's nice to say you got 65,000 people following you, but if they're not helping you, hi from St. Peter. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome. Thank you for stopping in. It's hard to get some. What's your return on the investment? Put it that way. What's your return on the investment? Always remember that when you have all these followers. I tell my clients all the time, they can have lots of people, but if they're not investing in you, then they're just people. They're not your community. They're not your readership. They're not your audience. They're just people that's on your list. So always remember why they're on your list and what you're getting out of it. What are you getting out of having that many people? Are they buying? Are they spending money with you? Are they helping you promote your stuff? If not, it's just a waste of people. So thank you for coming in here. I'm going to go over my tips one more time for the new people. I am LaShonda Hoffman, your promotion coach. I'm here to help you get your stuff out there. Can you tell me about? I am a promotion coach. I help writers or business owners be consistent with their promotion. I have a book called Building Online Relationships, and it's all about my experience of getting my magazine, Shades of Romance magazine, out to the readers. I help you create a plan so you can get yourself out there and start marketing your books or your business. Like he was saying, he has so many followers, and then what are you doing with these followers? Are you creating plans with them? Are you doing social campaign? What are you doing to get a return on your investment, all your hard work of gaining all these people? Are they investing in you? And so that's what I do. I try to help my clients get themselves out there and start so they can start selling, so they can build their community. When you build your community and people trust you, then they'll start buying from you. So if you got 60-some thousand people on your following, then hopefully somebody on there is buying your music. and really appreciates what you have to offer to the world. And so that's my thing, is to help you get yourself out there so people can appreciate what you have to offer to the world. Once you serve them, then they will serve you. So today we're talking about being a social butterfly. My notes got mixed up. I threw them somewhere. All you need is 15 minutes. 15 minutes, and you can be a social butterfly too. Let me find them one. Okay, so my first thing was to different tips on how to do this. I offer 15 minutes as a way to get yourself started to being consistent. Once you start being consistent, then you'll build yourself up to maybe an hour or maybe 2 hours of promoting. A lot of people don't take time to promote themselves, their business, their books. And as a writer, your books are your business. And so if nobody knows that you exist, if you don't have a billboard out there in the social media world, then nobody knows about you. And so I'm trying to show you how to create your billboard. And so you get out there, and have you seen those new billboards that's changing different pictures now instead of just being one picture? So you got that billboard. It used to be it just was you. You was the only person on that billboard. So that's how social media is. You are not the only person on the billboard anymore. There is a whole bunch of people blinking on there every 15 minutes, every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. So you want to get your space on there in front of the readers too, in front of your audience. And that's what I'm showing you how to do, to get yourself out there on that billboard so everybody knows you are a butterfly too, and you can shine just as much as everybody else. So if you choose to do 15 minutes to shine, then that's how you get out there and start being consistent. And hopefully it will build you up to be more consistent with your promotion. So I told you about doing 15 minutes each day. And you can take it do it in the morning, or do it in the afternoon, or do it in the evening. Or you can do all three of them if you have the time. What's that? Take your time, 45 minutes a day. That's not too bad. And you can do morning, noon, and in the evening time. Get yourself out there and introduce yourself to readers and to your community. One of the ways you can do this in 15 minutes is to answer questions on your platforms. Get on your platforms, answer some questions, talk to the people. This 15 minutes isn't scheduled stuff. This is stuff that you are engaging with your community. If you don't engage with your community, they won't engage with you. So you want to ask some questions, you want to make some comments, you want to share your information. And same thing if you go into groups. If you're participating in groups, like I have a group, See on the Net Promotion. It's a promotion group. We come in, we talk about promotion, we share information about promotion, and so that's what we do. And we answer questions about promotion. People always got some question about, how to use Instagram, how to use Pinterest. Yesterday we talked about how to use Pinterest. People gave some great tips on how to use Pinterest. And so you sharing information in these groups. And I told you information you can share is articles, graphics, quotes, links to blogs, videos, different things like that that's going to help you build your brand. Another way is to schedule your content. You can take time and take 15 minutes and schedule your content if you have the time. You can take 15 minutes and create some graphics. You can take 15 minutes and create an article or a blog post. Then you can take 15 minutes. I talked about using the Dragon app, one of my favorite tools. It's an app that you use, that you download, and you talking to it. It's a dictation app. So you talking to it saves you some time for typing. So you talking to it, and it types all the information you says. The more you use it, the more it gets used to using your voice. You can take that. Then once you do your talking to the Dragon, then you go and clean up your blog post or your article, and then you can post it or you can schedule it for later. You can take your 15 minutes and create your mailing list or work on your mailing list. You can create a newsletter. You can take your 15 minutes and do some research. And research is very important as a writer, because you need to know who you need to promote with. You need to know where you can promote at. You need to know where the book clubs are, where the events are. And so if you take 15 minutes, and do that and look up stuff, then you'll know how to do that. So those are some tips that I offer to you today to get you started on your 15 minutes and get you out there so you can start rocking your promotion, being the social butterfly that I know you can be. I hope that this was good tips for you. And if you know someone who needs some help with promotion, definitely pass this scope on to them. It's only up for 24 hours and then it's gone. And so hopefully they can pop in tomorrow or this evening. Swipe it, share it with your followers and let them know about this scope. I want to thank you for being here today. I hope that you were a social butterfly today. If you were a social butterfly, you sat down and did some engagement with your readers. If not, then I want you to get off here, take 15 minutes, and talk to somebody on your social media platforms. That's why you're there. You're there to talk. You want people to know about your billboard, know about your business, know about your books, and that's the only way you can do that is you have to get out there and talk to people. So this is LaShonda Hoffman. I am your promotion coach. I will tell you I will be here tomorrow at 6:30 talking some more about promotion and getting yourself out there and staying consistent. And if you have any questions, definitely hit me up at lchwriter@gmail.com, and I will definitely hit you back and tell you anything you need to know. If you want to come to my class, I will be clicking over and you can get the screenshot and come to my class. I hope I can see you there. My goal is to help you promote your books and get yourself out there in front of the readers. So your goal is to get yourself out there in front of the readers too. So you have a great evening. All right, that's my information. Hi, Young Money. I'm about to get up out of here, so you're going to probably have to hit replay. Have a great day. Don't forget to be a social butterfly.